What up, Chuds? Cobson here, and today we're going to talk about the mental health crisis and methods that Chuds can use to at the very least alleviate some of the worst aspects of our lives. If you want a more concrete definition of what a Chud is, please consult Jobs for Chuds, link in the description. Now, following these suggestions will not be able to fix the underlying causes of the situations that many Chuds are in, but it might just make life a little bit worth living. This video is dedicated to all the young men out there who are despairing due to a bleak job market, an inability to complete college, and a lack of social mobility. I just want to begin by stating the obvious. You are valuable. Not as a vote necessary for a Machiavellian power grab, not as a source of tax revenue, and not as a soldier in somebody else's war. You're valuable because you contain one trait that nobody else will ever have. Your identity, and more abstractly, what makes you, you. There is nothing that the globalist class wants more than for you to lose hope. And while delusions of an easily accessible, brighter future are just as bad for you, what is important is that you never let up. I'm not going to say bootstraps like a boomer, nor will I lecture you on how you somehow are the problem with society, nor will I appeal to the free market, nor preach the world of some deity that won't do anything to help your material conditions, nor will I attempt to gaslight you into thinking that things are actually just fine, because they obviously are not. Shit sucks right now, man. It really, really does. And there isn't anything we can do on the individual level to fix it. I might have enough wisdom to come up with ways to make things less shitty, but fixing our entire socioeconomic system as an unemployed autistic loner in his early 20s is not something I can actually do. But hey, we've survived the Great Depression, and the sun is actually peeking ever so slightly over the horizon. For now, we have to weather the troubles so that we can be ready for the morning. To begin, I would like to present to you the single most important tip I can give. Never goon. Abstain from pornography, excessive masturbation, and overtly sexual content if you can. Pornography is one of the most ubiquitous tools used by the globalist class to keep young men down. It acts like a pressure release valve for some of your most intimate personal urges, which effectively becomes a tool for them to control you and keep you docile. Pornography works by giving you a high and a low. You ride high on those big anime titties. It's a fantasy. But then once you bust, you're left in bed feeling empty, even ashamed. It's this feeling of shame in what you've done that keeps young men from talking about their pornography addiction to anyone. Not only is it a sensitive secret that, when leaked, can result in your inner circle looking at you differently, but it's a cancer on the very soul itself. Pornography makes you more retarded, physically weaker, more accepting of deviance, and worst of all, it makes you ashamed of yourself. If you are a porn addict, don't treat it like it's an awful sin, nor an inescapable part of who you are. Treat it as it really is. A disease inflicted upon you by the powers that be. In this way, abstaining from pornography is a revolutionary act. It is this that will make the first step towards true happiness, not the mere 5-minute high you get from busting a nut. I challenge every single person watching this video to quit pornography and allow yourself 2 busts every week without the assistance of pornography, literotica, hentai, or anything of the sort. And I guarantee you that after 4 to 6 months, you'll be feeling clearer, more energized, and more productive. And this is the key. It will make you happier with yourself. Moving on, I want to introduce what I call benign vices. Things that I recommend you indulge in about once every 2 weeks or so. If you're of legal age, I earnestly think you should get absolutely wasted every now and then. When I first got real drunk, I felt a sense of ease. I grew to appreciate the family I have at home, and it made me realize just how much I would have missed out on had I decided to end my life, as I had attempted to, at least 8 times since middle school. Obviously, no one's going to have the same reaction to getting drunk, but if alcohol can temporarily induce a feeling of genuine appreciation for the things and people you have around you, then why not give it a shot? I'm not advocating binge drinking, and I certainly don't recommend more than 1 serving of alcohol a week, as a substance can cause long-term health issues if you develop an addiction. The other benign vice I would recommend is fasting, then gorging. Once every 2 weeks as well, spend most of the day drinking water and eat the bare minimum for breakfast and lunch. Then when dinner comes along, pour yourself a heaping bowl of chips and chow down. Obviously, this is not what you should normally be doing. But again, every now and then, just gorging yourself and having that feeling of a belly full of chips or fried chicken or burgers or dessert, it just hits the spot. Now, I only recommend these options if you have the mental fortitude to be able to keep yourself from going overboard. Or it won't change much, just swapping one harmful addiction for another. Up next, I have following a routine. Even if you're currently in need, just having a routine keeps you from losing your mind. If possible, I recommend that you invest in a habit tracker. Every morning the sun comes up, another day goes by. Keep up your routine and you'll start feeling more alive. What's the point of waking up if you aren't going to do anything for yourself anyway, am I right? The mere act of establishing order in your own life is an excellent first step for a chud. And if you make a routine, you'll want to go out there and follow my next suggestion. Now, gyms can be intimidating. Folks don't like to be judged, and the fact that e-whores actively fish for inconvenient video frames to make false rape accusations doesn't help either. But that doesn't mean it isn't worth a try. If you're still in high school, ask your parents to pick up a gym membership for you, and for the love of God, lift weights for 2 hours every day after school. And the older chuds, well, they have even less of an excuse to avoid the gym. Bros, you should easily do 2 hours a day, like from 11 to 1 every day if you aren't working. Working out increases testosterone, it gets the blood flowing, and it just helps you ground yourself. There is nothing more satisfying than spending a couple hours pumping iron, only to have a nice grilled chicken breast for lunch with a side of vegetables. Trust me, bro, don't knock it till you try it. Besides working out, I recommend dieting. Affordable and easy to make, I highly recommend you invest in a variety of seasonings and a stock of chicken breast. Chicken breast is cheap, relatively high in protein, and is easy to cook. Combine this with a rotating cast of seasonings and a couple servings of vegetables, you'll be feeling healthier. But let's pivot away from your physical needs and focus on your social needs. Before we get into this section, I want to highly emphasize the importance of your daily routine. If you want to interact with your fellow chuds, the most obvious choice is the Shardy. This website can be accurately described as a gem mine, with all the premium soy jacks that come out of there on a daily basis. If you want to branch out a little bit, how about forming a group chat on Twitter? Telegram's also a great choice to spend some time. Skype is an excellent alternative to the Cord, and Pinterest is alright, I guess. Hell, I'd even recommend iFunny. Just don't go to Facebook because of the censorship, avoid Reddit for obvious reasons, and avoid Discord because of its connections to Zoophiles and other less than savory groups. Finally, I have probably the piece of advice that is the hardest to realize. Get a part-time job, chud. Yes, I'm well aware we've been in a historically weak job market since 2021. Yes, a lot of job applications turn out to be completely fraudulent. And yes, bosses can be extremely shitty. But if you can remind yourself that this isn't your entire life, and that your part-time work is not going to be your life for all that long, I think that the influx of cash into your bank account will be well worth it. In conclusion, if you follow these pieces of advice, keep an optimistic view of the future and carry yourself well, I believe that you will come out of the other end a happier and much more stable person. And with that said, Cobson out.